Have you accidentally stumbled upon Peak? Well, I did not too long ago, back in the distant year of 2023. I had accidentally found a silly Splatoon animation made by some random channel called GeoEXE. Some of the stuff I saw was pretty cool and well done. But then, I saw it. Gwain Saga Pilot. So, what is Gwain Saga? Gwain Saga is an indie animated web series by the amazingly talented animator GeoEXE. But not much is known about the guy except his pure talent and that he's from South America. But what is known is that he is the GOAT. The premise of the show is about a young man named Geo, no correlation, spontaneously being transported to a magical world named Terra. Terra is a world full of magic and elements and... Wait, what? What do you mean I just named every isekai anime ever? Okay, so the premise isn't the most original. Even so, I can't get enough of it. The show is set in a high fantasy tech world. High techno fantasy world. Hold on. A techno fantasy world. Geo meets Ami, the princess of the kingdom of Gwain. And here is where their friendship begins. After saving her from a bunch of wolves and sneaking back to her home, the queen, Gwain, beats him up because she's racist. Okay, so maybe I skipped a few parts, but that's basically the reason. After some diplomacy and reasoning with Gwain, Geo is made Ami's bodyguard, as a trade for letting him live. And that's all I'm gonna say because I want you to go watch it for yourself. The cast of the show is honestly one of my favorites when it comes to designs. Each character has their own thing that makes them look unique. Even the background characters are very unique, if they're not a reference to something. Each character in the main cast have their own element associated with them, except for Geo. He ain't got no element. But even though he has no magic, this man's aura is off the charts. I mean, just look at him. Anyway, speaking of the main cast, I'll show you a couple of them. Obviously, we have Geo, standard silent protagonist, but he doesn't need to speak because he lets his fist do the talking. Sometimes. Okay, he does have a knack of getting beat up a lot. This man can be a punching bag sometimes, but it's because he's human and he has a high tolerance to pain. According to Queen Gwain, humans in this world are practically super beings. It was actually a part of the reason why she was trying to kill him in the first place. There was even a moment where I think Geo gave Ami his clothes and they were way too heavy for her to carry. Speaking of Ami, she's the other silent protagonist. I believe this is Geo's favorite character because outside of the show itself, he makes so much art of her. Unlike Geo, she has magic. At first, I thought it was something like life or regeneration, but I looked at the wiki and apparently her element is love. What is this? Captain Planet? Next, we have Agni and Deva. Agni is kind of like the musclehead of the group and is the funny guy. His element is fire, but I'm gonna be honest, he doesn't get many chances to use it. He's mainly the comic relief and usually up to the standard shenanigans. Then there's Deva, Agni's younger cousin. She low-key looks like Pearl from Splatoon, mainly because of her teeth. Her element is ice and water, but most of the time it's ice. She's got this girl boss attitude and tends to be a hothead, which when I first saw them, I didn't think too much of it, but now rewatching the show, it's actually really cool because the hothead is the one with ice powers and the chill, funny guy is the one with fire powers. So that's just something to think about. But I will say, part of the reason why she's a hothead is because she has to keep Agni from going too far in his shenanigans. Now, another one of my favorite characters is Marlo, or better known as Avocado Girl. She's the smart one of the group. She makes sure that Geo's in line and agreed to help him with training. I love her design because it's so obviously based off of Sonic, but even so, she looks cool. And her fight scene against Luna, mwah. It's one of those fights where it lines up with the music and like, But last but not least, we have Lainey. She's the shy one of the group, who tends to be too nice to people, but she does have her chance to shine in episode 8. I tend to not like the shy girl archetype in media, but Lainey's one of those exceptions, because you kind of get to see her come out of her shell when the time is right. Overall, the cast is genuinely one of the best aspects of the show. Obviously, I can't go over all of them because you would need to go watch the show yourself. Now, the best part in my opinion is the art style. When it comes to most fictional worlds, this one takes the cake for me. I would genuinely want to live in this world just for the aesthetics alone. Now, this show has been out for a while, and as time passed by, the style kept improving. Like, when you look at Geo from episode 1 and compare it to episode 8, you can tell how good GeoEXE has gotten at honing his art skills. Like I said earlier, the character designs are genuinely some of my favorite, especially Geo and Marlo. But even so, all the characters just look cool. And another cool thing is whenever there's a fight scene, the art style turns into this pixelated version of the original art style. This choice is very smart because the whole show is basically a love letter to video games itself. The amount of references in Gwain Saga will show you how much GeoEXE loves video games. You'll see references from games like Sonic and Castlevania. There's literally a character named Vania. No joke. This also goes into another thing I like about the show. The way Gwain Saga handles dialogue is amazing. This is part of the reason why it feels like it's ripped straight from a video game. In the earlier episodes, text bubbles would be used for dialogue, but in more recent episodes, it would show a dialogue box at the bottom of the screen for whoever's speaking. There's little to no voice acting used except for the small phrases or sounds that characters make, like from a video game. Now, before I move on, I have to talk about the character design. Each character tend to look like an element that they represent. Like, for example, Marlo and how her hair kind of resembles leaves. Or Agni, his element is fire and his hair looks like fire. It also kind of looks like... wait a minute. I knew it! This also plays a role for our main man Geo, because his hair is white, mainly meaning that he has no element. My only question is, what does black hair mean? Because Luna, the main antagonist, has black hair. The only thing we don't get to see is her use her element. She only uses gadgets and weapons, and she's also really good at fighting, but that's a theory for another day. Now, the story isn't all that crazy, but easy enough to understand. The best part I'd say is that you could start halfway through the series and get a good gist of what it's about. The lore isn't insane, but I also feel like it's hard to give lore when there's just too little episodes to show it. There are definitely a few questions I would like to be answered, like how did Geo get teleported? Why is Vania so important? Why is Gwain so racist? Why is Dali from Wakfu here? But even so, I think Geo has done enough for us to have the right amount of context that the world is set in. Gwain Saga has a partially episodic, partially linear format. Like, you can watch any episode and understand what's happening, but also know that there's more to the story than what you see in the singular episode, making you want to watch the others. So, what do I think about Gwain Saga? I feel like this show is very underrated and deserves a little bit more recognition than what I've seen. That's part of the reason why this video is being made, but me being a smaller YouTuber, it wouldn't do so much to spread the word out. But if you want more videos on Gwain Saga, please tell me in the comments. I genuinely want to connect with more fans of the show and see what they think about it. I actually joined the Patreon and the Discord just so I can meet more fans of the series. I'll drop the link in the description below if you want to support Geo. I'm so excited to see what GeoEXE has in store for the final episode of Gwain Saga, and what he plans on doing beyond it too. And hopefully this video put your interest into the series. I appreciate you watching this video, and I know it's been a minute since I've uploaded, but school and work has taken so much time. But maybe with this new year coming up, I'll finally get the chance to make more videos. But for now, until the next episode of Gwain Saga, and until next time.